I couldn't stop staring at the crotch.
¿Quién es la más draga? ¿Quién es la más draga? ¿Quién es la más draga? ¿Quién es la más draga?
Hola hermanas, bienvenidas a ¿Quién es la más? My name is Yi.
And I am Braulio. Before we start, remember to subscribe and rate the podcast. Tell your friends about the show. It would help us immensely to get the word out. We appreciate all the support.
Thank you. And today we are recapping La Más Draga Season 5, Episode 4. For some reason, I thought it was, because I was looking through Instagram and I thought it was Season 4. I was confused. And I was like, wait, what season are we on?
Which
But
season did you erase from your mind?
I know, I feel like some of them blended in together. But anyways, this is Season 5. And we have a different type of challenge that I think they introduced. I want to say they introduced this last season. I don't remember which was the first season they did design challenge. It's either season 3 or season 4. But I think it was really, really cool to watch this episode. And they kind of made it seem like it was a special sort of event.
Yeah.
Because I think they know that it's showing more of their skills.
Or their
But I still have some questions about it. Yeah. I have some questions about some because one of the judges, the new judge, not the new judge, the guest judge, she mentioned something about them bringing some stuff already made. So I don't understand what that meant. But anyways, what was your general thoughts about the episode?
I mean, I was really excited about the challenge itself because this is like the stuff that I like because it's like you mentioned. It sounds like they kind of twisted the definition of the challenge, but I like that they were actually seeing them be or constructing and using their creativity right then and there. And so yeah, I mean, that's what I was excited about. Ultimately, I don't know. We'll talk about the results, but I'm glad that they tried it at least to show us that it's not just about the how much money do they have in order to pay someone to make their looks. They have to have that gift as well, right? Like they it's important to know how to put together your own looks.
Yes, and I keep saying that this would be such a great show if they were to make it like a Project Runway kind of thing. It would be so good. Because a lot of the episodes, well, not all of them. I'm not a lot of them. Most of them, like pretty much like 98% of them are just look based, and I think that's something that would not only show like their talents, but would set them apart from other drag shows, other reality shows. And I don't know. I think they're missing that point
Yeah,
to the show.
I mean, I would love that too, but again, like if we see the results from this, I think that's why they can't do that because a lot of them don't have that skill. So I mean, I understand that as well, and it's just not feasible for them to revolve it around making their looks.
Yeah, they would have to rework the whole show in a way because they wouldn't be able to have a lip sync. They wouldn't be able to have that. They would have to like rework the whole show. But I think it would be worth it just to make it its own thing, to not be so comparable to Drag Race.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be really great. And they would have to like cast specific people that know how to sew, like kind of like not just any drag queen, which I think, like I said, I think it would be great. But anyways,
to be like a qualification.
Yeah. So, anyways, let's get into this episode. So, this week, the challenge is La Más Recursiva. The queens are challenged to create a look from random, unconventional materials and present it on the runway. For this week's mini challenge, they dive wig first into a pile of hay to find prizes and a chance to win immunity. In a shocking twist, Santa Lucia and Papercut are both named La Mas of the Week, while Liza Zansusi and Umakayo are Las Menos. Since Umakayo wins immunity in the mini challenge, she uses it to save herself and send Isabela y Catalina to lip sync in her place. Las Menos battle it out in a lip sync to Estilazo by Marshmello and Tokisha. Isabela y Catalina unfortunately become, I guess, the third and fourth, or just third queen to be added to the drag altar, where they will be remembered. So, all right, so let's go from the beginning. We got introduced to the design challenge, which a lot of them are nervous about, and they pretty much say it in their confessionals that they're not great seamstresses or designers, and then others are excited. And yeah, so we get that challenge introduced, and then we move on to the mini challenge, where it was such a weird mini challenge because it first of all they made them get in drag, and then they gave them a costume to put on. Like, why would they why would they have to get in drag if they're gonna give them a costume to put on anyways? That was so random.
Yeah.
I don't know. What did you think of this?
Yeah, and they cut down their time that they had to do their makeup from, I think usually what is 10 minutes or something, and Rogelio gave them only 6 minutes.
Yeah, it was so not necessary. We couldn't even see their faces because they were wearing a mask because the hay was kind of like, it's dirty and stuff. So they were wearing a mask. They were wearing pig and cow costumes, I believe, like onesies.
Mhm.
So there was no point to get in drag. I don't know. It was just pointless. And to me, I think you mentioned this last episode that if the mini challenges were more challenging, it would make sense to win immunity. Like, that's such a big
Mhm. Yeah.
prize, and this just seemed like it was just like something you go to the fair and do. It was weird, or just a regular Saturday evening in your house. But that was it was just it was so
You
weird.
don't know me. Um yeah, I mean, on the one hand, if they win the mini challenge, it's a chance to get the immunity capsule. So it's not like automatically given to them. But so like it does encourage them to put some effort into the mini challenge. Because all the other prizes are what, like dinerita or maybe nothing. I don't remember.
Hmm.
I don't remember what the other one was. But yeah, finally Uma ends up getting the right box, so she gets the immunity capsule, and she's the one who finds the lip sync in the haystack. And oh, and then there were like eggs hidden in there as well, and some of them got some dinerita from them as well, which they didn't explain the rules that well either. So I don't remember even hearing about the eggs until they found them.
And it was not interesting to watch at all. That's the thing that
Mm-mm.
made it just seem like
At some point, like it looked like they gave up because it's like, "Oh, I'm not gonna find anything in this."
yeah, I'm pretty sure that it went long. That whole
Mhm.
scene went long because it was a lot of hay, and it was to find the lipstick and all that. Yeah, it would
And
take a
poor
while.
Greta, like she said she was allergic to hay and having to like
Uh,
be in there. That's not good.
yeah, I would have opted out.
Killing their queens.
I know they're just trying to get them eliminated by not eliminating them. So yeah, like you said, Uma Kyle wins, and I was kind of disappointed because I'm not fond of Uma Kyle and her drag.
Yeah, I agree. And she, I mean, she got the immunity fair and square, but probably not the one that deserved it at this point.
Yeah, I would have been like, let's throw it back again. Let's see who else can find it. Uma, we're gonna blind you with, just wrap something around your eyes.
Letal would do that.
Um, yeah. All right. So we move on to when they're working on their outfits, and it was a weird. This episode was kind of weird. It was a fun episode because it was different and it was an hour long, which is pretty cool for this show. But it was just not edited the best because this part they literally show them already done. Most of them were almost done with their outfits, and they were just kind of like painting. They didn't really show like the full like, oh, I'm inspired by this or inspirations, what they're going for. It was just like them kind of working on their almost finished outfits, which made it seem like, when did they even start? Like, what? When did it even get started? And Paper Cut was almost pretty much done and started helping, I think, Santa Lucia out.
Mm.
So I was like, and they didn't even show Papers his outfit. So it was weirdly edited. I don't know. What did you think about this scene?
Yeah, and I think a couple of them mentioned that Paper helped them with their with their looks. So I guess he finished really early. Yet the judge, is her name Raquel, I think, right? She was like, or was it the guest judge that said something about him, like already or doing the whole look then and there instead of bringing something from home?
Yeah, I was the guest
Okay,
judge.
yeah. So then, yeah, like, for someone who did everything then and there, then for him to finish quickly, that's kind of weird. You wouldn't think that would be the person. Although he's like pretty gifted with all that stuff because he's Paper Cut. I think them showing this process, I mean, it was interesting to a point, but I do think they didn't show us enough, like from concept to what they eventually decided to do, and they were already like looking a mess. So all the looks that they were showing us, it was already not looking good. And the fact that they, well, the materials that they provided were like unconventional materials mostly, or like crafty, because it was like newspaper, which I don't remember anyone using the newspaper. I saw some string, some scraps of like tool or something. Everyone used this like see-through plastic, like this. It was like blue tinged. Like literally everyone was using that, and in the end, like all their looks looked pretty similar because of that.
Yeah, I agree. I had a lot of good looks that I was like, did they talk to each other or what was going on? Because they did look very similar. The silhouettes look similar.
Hmm.
Yeah, I would have loved to seen Paper's process. Like, why did he choose to go with the peacock? Like, what is it behind
Hmm.
that really inspired him? Like, that's what I want to hear. I don't just want to see them. Oh, look, they're painting. Oh, look, it's not that interesting. But all right, so let's move on to the actual challenge. And first up on the runway is the one we were just talking about, Paper Cut. What did you think of Paper Cut's look?
So as you mentioned, Paper Cut was kind of wearing a peacock, it's a costume, and that's. I guess we can fault, or we can, because of the materials that they were using, a lot of them looked like costumes, right? So it didn't look like a complete look. So I kind of give them a slide for that, and obviously this one, that's what it looked like. But I thought it was really cool looking. I would have liked to know what material Paper used for for example, the feathers, the peacock feathers. That would have been
Mm-hmm.
interesting to know. I think this was one of the more complete looks, and I appreciated the placement of every single item and feather that Paper used, because I had a lot of problems with the rest of them. A lot of the other queens just kind of threw it all in there and covered their bits, and that's it. And it wasn't like they didn't take time to think of what they were putting on their look like Paper did.
Yeah, when Paper came out, I was like, wow, this is so cool. Like, all these looks are gonna be so cool after this one. Like, this is so cool. Like, the fact that he made this there, it's very striking, and the colors are great. I didn't agree with Yari. She said that she needed more details at the bottom. I think it had enough, because the top was it was so busy that you would have had so much going on in the legs. So I appreciate it. It was edited well, and love the colors. He listened with the makeup. The only thing they got him for is because of the back of his neck was not didn't have any makeup on it, which it is kind of distracting when you're on stage. So I get that they pointed it out, but everything else was amazing. Like, it was so good. I loved it. The next one up is Fifi Está. What did you think of Fifi?
So here we start with that plastic that I was talking about, like that everyone used. I think Fifi used it had a little bit of like cleverness to it, because kind of like like a peacock kind of tail that she had, so it had some structure to it. It wasn't the most well constructed, but it had some effect to it in the end. The rest of the look is just like scraps that she put on, and to me it did not make a good look. And one thing that we'll notice, as the twins Isabela and Catalina pointed out during when they were constructing their looks, they were like, a lot of them are using corsets, and we want to steer away from that. So, and that's one of the themes we'll see with these looks, that a lot of them were using like corsets and panties, and basically just sticking stuff to them to make their looks.
Yeah, I was like, is this serviceable look? Is it gonna win you a design challenge? No, it's pretty safe. It was, I didn't really get the concept. I didn't get why like she wanted to go for this, so I would have loved to see that. She did try to do something with the skirt lifting up, but like they said, the judges pointed it out, it just didn't look great. Like, it didn't have enough structure to it to be able to do that. So I think if she would have just sold it differently, I think it would have been received better. But as a look, it's just pretty basic. There's not much to it. It's a corset with a skirt in the back, and that's pretty much what it is.
The makeup was nice, though.
Yeah, I like the makeup. She's always changing it up. The next one is Peque Valderas, and Peque, to me, I like the silhouette. I like that it was like voluminous, that it was different, that it was kind of out there, not very conventional, and that she used unconventional materials, but it was a little just not thought out. It was, and then the execution, I think Yari was on one today. Like, she was cutting she was cutting them.
She finally recovered from her bronchitis or whatever she had, and yeah, she was coming for them.
Yeah, because she was right. Like, this is not the paint job on this. I guess she went back.
Yeah.
She went with like a spray can or something, painted it, and it's supposed to look like a gradient, and it doesn't. It just doesn't look well painted. So there was ideas there, so I appreciate that. It just didn't come together.
Yeah, not enough ideas, because of the way she decorated the overall look. I think it was missing details. It was too simple. Sure, she gave it dimension by using the pleats, but other than that, it was too simple. And again, like you said, the coloring, the gradient, it did not look good. It just maybe stick to one color instead of like all the different color. Maybe she ran out of the spray can or something, the paint. But yeah, it did not look nice because of that. And it was, I mean, I'm sure it was the materials, obviously, but it was stiff as she walked.
And her story was weird. She said that she had a
Yeah.
husband that she was gonna feed. So she had a lunchbox for him. I was like, what are you talking
I
about?
didn't understand that. I didn't get that from that at all.
I did not either. All right, the next one up is Uma Kyle. What did you think of Uma?
So Uma is what, a cannibal or a vampire? I don't know. She didn't have colmillos. She didn't, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
But
know. I think she was going for a vampire.
She all of a sudden started chewing at one of the venenos or toxico. I don't know which one it is. And yeah, her look it looked like it wasn't well constructed and well thought out. I think what's kind of saved it a little for me is that the color. So it kind of because it's black, it kind of hides the mistakes. And at least she tried to give us some sort of performance up there. So she did something. But yeah, I mean, the look just wasn't exciting.
To me, it's in the same as Fifi. Like, it was serviceable. Like, she looks okay. It's not gonna win your design challenge, but she looks good for what, you know, for making that herself. And she had a concept for it, which is good. You know, she had a story that a lot of them didn't have. But yeah, it's just pretty basic. It's even more basic than, I guess, Fifi, because this is shorter. She didn't really build up to a silhouette. So I get why she was in the bottom, but I didn't hate it. Honestly, I did not. The next one up is Hidden Mistake, and I was waiting for this one because she I guess she comes from the right. We've said this before. She's not related, but she comes from the house of Cifer, and Cifer is known to be like a designer, and you know this really just really good at making looks. And so I was waiting for this one. I was a little disappointed because again, she used that material that we're gonna see a lot of people use. But I thought it was a cute look. It was the same silhouette as Fifi, but this one had a little bit more design to it, I feel. It was a little like just kind of not, I don't know if it was the materials that didn't go together. Some of the materials just looked like they were clashing for me. But I did like it. I didn't love the whole as a whole. Like, I didn't love it as a whole, but I think it was well constructed.
Yeah, I agree. It's like an upgraded version of Fifi's look. And I think Hidden plays their part well. Like, they know kind of who their character is, and it's just like a cute character with bubbly and yeah, I mean, I like that. Yeah, I think overall this was towards the top for me. But yeah, just because of the similar silhouette to other queens, it wasn't like at the top.
The next one up is Liza Zanzuzi. I don't like saying that name, honestly. I just don't think it rolls off the tongue well. Liza Zanzuzi. Like, she needs to break it up with something in the middle. Like, Liza Van Zuzi. Zanzuzi is just kind of, I don't like it. Anyways, what did you think of this look?
I couldn't stop staring at the crotch.
I think that was her point. You stare at her crotch.
It was really awkward. The movement of the cape was cool, but I think the details needed a lot more thought put into it. Um, like I said, with the other ones, Liza kind of just covered the nipples and obviously did not barely cover the crotch. um, and that's it. Like it wasn't that well constructed either or thought out. I did like Lisa's like energy up there because she was playing kind of like a superhero, so that was cool, and I think she pulled that off. But the look just was not good.
I think she's going for. She looks like a superhero from. I want to say Scarlet Witch. Was it Marvel? I don't know. I believe that might have been her reference. But anyways, yeah, you're right. Like it was just awkward. It didn't look like it was completed. It looked unfinished, and I think Yari mentioned it. Like her underwear is under the mesh, which doesn't make sense. It should be over it, especially if she's going for like a superhero vibe. It just doesn't make it look.
Could have covered the hole.
Yeah, I could have covered the hole, and I just didn't understand it. I didn't know what she was going for. I didn't like the styling of it. It just looks very off to me. Like I don't like it. All right, so the next one up is Santa Lucia, and to me this look, I liked the volume of it. I liked the color, that it was white. It was kind of different from the others. I didn't like the styling of it. To me, the styling ruined it. Like the wig ruined it. The big necklace that kind of gave her no neck. The gloves were just awful. Like I would have loved to see this as just like a frilly, like very girly, like glamour. Just just give us something more upscale. And I was disappointed by the styling, but I liked the dress. I liked the fact that it was made well. Yeah, what did you think?
Agreed. I like the overall silhouette, but yeah, the necklace, like you said, it doesn't give her a neckline, and the gloves just clash with it because they're like vinyl gloves, and it's just completely out of a different story than the wedding of her dreams or whatever she's trying to portray. And I think even down to the makeup, it looked rougher than it needed to be. Like it was done well. What I mean is like it didn't go with the theme of a wedding. But yeah, I think she should have just like streamlined that idea and stuck to the idea of the wedding, and I think it would have gone much better.
Yeah, nobody's gonna want to marry her like that. They're gonna leave her at the altar.
There's someone for everyone.
Now with that necklace. The next one up is Isabella y Catalina. What did you think of their looks?
They're costumey, but it's expected from a challenge like this, obviously. The thing that we've been criticizing them for is that they keep wearing the exact same look as twins, right?
Mm-hmm.
I do think, this time they did wear different wigs, and they're kind of a mirror of each other, but the looks are still the same, like same details, same everything. So like we've been saying, that what's the point in that? Like we're seeing the same look twice. Like always, their presentation, their presence they always have something to do on the runway, and I like that about them. But yeah, the looks weren't bad, I don't think. It's just more originality is what I wanted.
Yeah, they, to me, did not impress me at all. Like they just did not really think about. Well, I guess they wanted to go for like a fire thing, like their dress is not like a fire thing, whatever. Why didn't they go with like fire and water, something to make it a little different, more exciting? I agree with Letal. Their faces. It's not that you have to like, change your face, your whole face with every look. You can still implement some color to it or something just to bring the whole look together, and that's what they're missing in their makeup, especially with such a fire
inspired look,
with like a inspired look. So that's what I'm missing. I'm missing like that uniqueness, that like art part of it. Like this is just to me like very basic, not very impressive, and it doesn't fit well. Like their costumes don't fit well. They look like they're about to, like, if they move too much, they'll fall off. And I don't know if that's the case. I think they're made out of paper, which is,
they're made out of ruffles.
hard to do.
Didn't one of the judges say that?
Yeah, that's what they said, that it looked like ruffles. No, that would have been cool. Made out of ruffles?
You got a snack on the runway if you get hungry.
Yeah, they get another sponsor that they can pour out. All right, so the next queen is Greta White. What did you think of Greta White?
So here's another one that's using that plastic, and they all used it as a train. I think hers is the most interesting. She kind of used layers to it. But the look is just like, it's pretty plain. Like it's another like corset, and hers looks like it's not even like, the only way she fit it to her body is by using she put like a belt around her waist. But other than that, it looks like a rag that she just put on with no thought towards her proportions. And I really don't like the makeup. Too much blue in there. She looks like she was frozen, and maybe that's what she was going for. I don't know, some sort of Ice Queen kind of theme. I think there was an idea there, but I didn't like the results.
I actually liked it. I thought there was at least some cohesiveness between the look and the makeup and her little headpiece. So I like that. I was over it by this. This is what, the fourth or third look with the same fabric, same silhouette. That's why she just didn't impress me. And it's not her fault. It's just that she should have looked around and been like, why are they're all using the same materials?
Yeah, doesn't she look like La Bruja del 61, or is that what it is?
I mean, you can. This is like the high fashion version. Yeah, sure. But yeah, I liked it. I thought she looked good. The last one on the runway is Light King. Light King. I can't get over that name. Like Light King. Where did that come from?
Jesus, I don't know. To me, this is a case of less is more, because I think she has too many details, too many little trinkets, too many patterns, and they don't really flow with each other. I think she needed to kind of tone it down. I think she just kind of wanted to use every single material that they provided them with, which here's the end result. But I think the construction seems good enough, and she was very like lively on stage. It is another corset, so yeah, like you said, it was another corset. Some of the judges were living for this. They even made them one of their mas, I believe. I was like, no, this is a mas, like a lot mas, like this was too much. If she would have edited, I think it would have been more successful. And I do like the fact that she went for the Queen of Hearts kind of thing. I think that's what she was going for. And I don't think we saw a lot of red in the
on the runway, so I think that made her stand out too.
Yeah.
Um, so she was smart for doing that. It was just the fact that she didn't know how to edit. But it was fine. She looked fine. All right, so the winner of this challenge is Santa Lucia and Paper Cut, which I don't agree Santa Lucia should have won. I thought Paper should have won by himself. But anyways, Liza and Susie and Uma Kyle lip sync to, well, they don't lip sync actually. So they announced them as the bottom two, but obviously Uma Kyle has her immunity, which
Hmm.
she kind of is a little hesitant to use in the beginning, but all of a sudden she wants to use
Wait,
it, and I
so
think
it sounded like the rule for that immunity is you can send any queen to the lip sync. So literally,
yeah,
you
I
can
think that's what it was.
probably send one of the winners, maybe. Because she was like, I don't want to be shady, and so I'm just gonna choose the queens who are I thought were uh, the next bottom ones after me. So she ends up choosing Isabella and Catalina. That brings up a question for me, like, what? So when you win a challenge, do they get money or what do they get, or what's the point of winning?
Yeah, they win 5,000 pesos.
Oh, okay. So there is some sort of incentive. Um, but yeah,
They don't win anything for the lip sync though.
yeah. Just the challenge.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, so Uma ends up sending Isabella and Catalina, and they have to lip sync against Liza. And
Did you think that was fair? Do you think she should have done that, or you think she should have
gone herself?
waited to use it?
No, she's not.
Hmm.
She's already been at the bottom, right? So she's not gonna be like, she's not gonna take a chance of being kicked out. So she might as well just use it now.
I don't know if I heard wrong, but in her interview, she was saying, "I don't want to do it. I don't want to do this. At this point, I don't even want to use it." And then they showed her, and she's like, "I'm using it." Did I just hear wrong, or did that happen?
I mean, there was a little bit of wishy washiness, but I don't know. I don't think she had her mind made up yet.
Yeah. What's the point of having it if you're not going to use it? Like literally.
Exactly, and I feel like the unless you're that confident against whoever you're gonna lip sync, then I don't see the point of holding on to it because you may not be there to use it. You can get eliminated.
Yeah. Yeah. Which we've seen her lip sync, so she did lose that first lip sync. So I don't think she's that confident. And I don't know. I feel like I mean she played fair, obviously. She wanted to play fair according to her.
Hmm.
Um I don't know. I don't know if she would have chose that was the best choice. Let me see who else would have been in the bottom. I mean, I guess it's like the choice that's gonna ruffle the least feathers, right? It's gonna be the one that's everybody's like, oh yeah, they deserve to be there.
Hmm.
But there are no rules. You can do whatever you want. So if she would have chosen somebody like near the top, like what's the repercussion? What are they gonna do? Like
They'll
hit you?
get roasted online
She's gonna get roasted anyways.
for other stuff.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, just play the game. Anyways, so Isabel and Catalina end up losing the lip sync, which is a weird lip sync because they had to lip sync with
Yeah.
Liza and they were all on stage. And Isabel and Catalina just kind of stayed on one side
Hmm.
and Liza stayed on the other.
But
It was
I
kind of
liked
weird.
how Isabella and Catalina interacted with each other. They could have done more, but I like that they at least did something together to show us, okay, they're a duo. Um, and I
Yeah.
think I don't know. I think they all three of them held their own. But yeah, I think Lysa had more energy up there.
Which is I mean, you beat out 2 people. Like, that that is, that you must have really, like, really impressed because to me, Liza, I mean, she wasn't great. I'm not gonna say that she was great, but the other ones just they seemed like a little I don't know, like they were thinking too
Mhm.
much. Like, they were just thinking, "Oh, okay, we're gonna do this now and do this now, and now this."
Yeah.
It wasn't just in the
Mhm,
moment.
mhm.
So, anyways, they are the ones to be added to the drag altar, so they get eliminated. And my prediction did not come true. I thought they were gonna be separated, and one of them is gonna compete. So
One of them is gonna
I
come
think that
back.
would have been a cool twist, right? I mean, they're wearing the same outfit anyways, so we're not gonna miss the runways of one of them. Um, but okay, yeah. So, do you have anything else about this episode that you wanted to talk about?
It was shorter, like 30 minutes shorter than the other episodes, and they had everything in there. So they had a mini challenge, they had the Camerino Nix part where they're like constructing their looks, everything, the runway, so everything was in there, and the retroalimentación, a lip sync, and it was still shorter. So they can do it. Come on, give us short
Oh
episodes.
yeah, they can even do it short. Like Maka talks for like 10 minutes just introducing everybody.
Yeah. And it's always the same
I'm
interaction,
like,
awkward interaction.
yes, it's so bad. They should just say, "Hi, judges," da-da-da, da-da-da, and then let's move on.
Yeah.
They have to introduce everybody in the producers, the ones backstage, the serving the coffee. They go interview, whoever's outside cleaning. Like, it's just
But
crazy.
RuPaul does it, so they got to do it too.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for joining us for this week's episode. Please tell them where they can find us.
You can follow the podcast on Instagram at Quien es la Más, where you will see the looks of the week. And we have our email address where you can write or send us an email, questions, anything if you want us to read it on the podcast. And that is quieneslamaspodcast@gmail.com. And please give us 5 stars, rate the podcast. That helps us a lot, so that the podcast becomes more visible. And where can they find you, Yiji?
You can find me on the TikTok or Instagram,
The TikTok.
the TikTok, at Yes It's Yee. So thank you so much again, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Adios. Liza.